See, we're here after the North London derby and Tottenham are shit. No news there. Um, but yeah, we'll go straight into it. As I said on the last video, um, before the game, I'm gonna do the left backs. Then we're gonna move to midfielders, and we're here. We're gonna speak about midfielders, and I'll go into a little bit of a preamble before we actually start. Again, there's our social media platform, and you can follow, share, and like here as well, and subscribe. Anyway, in regards to midfield, we're not going to take it as cam, center mid, CDM, and things like that. In regards to the CDM position, I think no matter how much someone's going to huff and puff, it's going to be Isaac Hayden, especially since he's been in the team more now with Jonathan Varane. So it's gonna be difficult for someone to displace him, seeing as he's technically the only real natural six we have. So he's not gonna be in this video, neither is any other possibility for a number six. There might be people who are versatile enough to play there, but it's not an outright number six, you know. For example, I'll throw one out there, Ian Frey. He won't be in this. And people are like, oh, you say you're going to use him somewhere else, huh? Maybe, maybe not. You know, I found out, I realized that whether I say Isaac Hayden, Ian Frey, just Sean Anglin, it's only going to be Isaac Hayden, and it's going to be Isaac Hayden until he decides to retire or something. Jamaica are going to make this thing just fall down on them. In terms of attacking midfield, I don't want to see us with an attacking midfield, and that's why I'm going with a flat three in midfield. CDM, already spoken about. I know we've got 6 whole options to choose from for 2 positions. Are you guys ready? Because we need to know who should be in the engine room. Because I'm telling you, we are lacking in some characteristics. Obviously, you watch Jamaica, right? Everybody can tackle, everybody's got some sort of running ability, pace, stamina, etc. But no one can actually grab the ball and control the game. We have had a couple players like that. Unfortunately, injury and other circumstances have kept them out. Hopefully now we won't have to go through any of that. Now, as I said, there are 6 options, as we're supposed to wipe that off the screen. We've got 6 options now that we're gonna go into in 15 seconds. That's coming off, and some people are gonna be like, oh yeah, that's obvious, okay, he makes sense, and this and that. And then I'm gonna need you guys to build your 3 midfield. Let's say Hayden's already in there. You tell me who you want flanking Isaac Hayden at the end of this video. But for right now, we'll go with the first option here. It will be Casey Palmer. Now, Casey Palmer is arguably the most technical player we've had in the last 4 windows last 4 windows that he has been fit. We know he missed November and October due to the knee injury, so he has been arguably the best midfielder we've had. Control, skill, creativity, flair. His vision is great. His passing is good. He's a tiki-taka player, tiki-taka rasta man. The only problem with Casey is the injuries that he picks up over time and everything. And you can see he gets a lot of niggles, you know, and those niggles turn into longer term injuries over time as well. And at his age, I think Casey is now 30 or 29, based on when this video comes out. It's not the best for a player his age to continuously be getting niggles and things like that. Casey Palmer, however, he's undoubtedly one of the most technical midfielders in the squad. And that's what I mean. Cam, you can't say he plays Cam, he plays CM. He had started well at Luton, he was actually playing deeper, in a deeper role, like not as a holder but as a deep lying orchestrator. And I think in a team that has possession a lot, that would be good for them. That would be good for him. That would be good for us. So Casey Palmer, option 1. I mean, What more else can I say about him? We've all seen him with our own eyes, whether you're in the stadium or not. We've seen what Casey Palmer can do, whether you watched Hull City or Luton Town or when he was at Huddersfield. We know what this man can do. And I think he's somebody that you're going to think aloud as an option for the midfield itself going forward. Now, I'm going to deviate a bit, right? I'm not going to go into my second option. I'm going to leave him for last, actually, because we're going to get some things out. We're going to mix it up today instead of go in order. I'm going to change up the entire order. And next player for us, I'm going to go with the big man, John Russell. Now, gladly, and I'm telling you, I really like that. He left Barnsley. He's only on loan. His contract ends in the summer anyway. He's at Mansfield Town. I hope they do offer him a deal at the end of the season. He's been great. John Russell is I've said it to many a people who know me. I've said it that John Russell is the Jamaican McTominay. Scores goals, does not look like a midfielder whatsoever. You know, he can pass, he can run, he's got stamina, he can shoot, he can do everything. But just like McTominay, when you see him in the midfield, something's wrong. You put him in a Napoli shirt where he's going out and attacking, he looks world class. And I think if John Russell can get in a team where he can play as an attacking midfielder or support striker, second striker, you know, the Chris Wood type, he'd show how good he is. He'd be excellent because his aerial threat and goal scoring ability are some of his perks. Because it's very hard to take him off the ball. I mean, how many times has he scored headers for us or for when he was at Barnsley? He's a wonderful player. He's a wonderful player. I mean, he does lack pace, let's be real. But as a man standing that tall, and what I hate with doing this type of research as well, guys, when you're finding statistics and all of that, we don't use that type of system in Jamaica. We say, oh, you're 6 foot something, 5 foot something. He's 1.93 meters tall, which is about 6'4", or probably an inch shorter. But John Russell, look, he's got to be considered because look, obviously he won't be available for New Caledonia, but I'm gonna have to I'm involving him now because I don't want people to forget him for when New Caledonia and potentially the midfield looks a bit different. That this is a player that we can't actually get rid of or miss from the midfield itself. Because John Russell is a player who's finally finding his feet, especially at Mansfield Town. Nigel Clough, big manager, always gonna have respect for him. Johnny, what more can I say? If I call him the Jamaican McTominay, then you guys know that there was some sort of misuse happening beforehand. Third option we're going to is younger player. Someone I've waxed lyrically about in a long while, Karoy Anderson. Karoy is no longer at Charlton Athletic. He's out on loan at Blackpool, scored on debut for Blackpool. He does play as a centre mid. He's more of a box-to-box midfielder, bombing up and down, and his stamina, I'm telling you, he's got a set of lungs on him. Not much of a, old three lungs, but he's got it. And he's got it. Look, apart from stamina, let's move on from the stamina, because as a centre mid, you've got to have a lot of it because you're going to do most of the running anyway. His tackling, it's not pinpoint, but his tackling is at a higher percentage than any other midfielder that I'm going to preview today. So, does it show that our midfielders are terrible? Does it show that he's the best of the bad bunch? Whichever way you want to spin it. He's got leadership qualities as well for his young age. I think he's only about 22, 23, because he's captained the Charlton youth setup on a few occasions that I've seen. Obviously, look, as a young player, there's some things that need to be coached out of him, especially when you don't have the right leadership in the team itself. When you're in the first team, some things you might have done in the academy or youth setup is different when you're in the first team. His aggression decisiveness. When you go and make that last pass. For example, Sonny Crary making a run down the middle and Kelman's peeling off the right, and he decides, let me try and find Rory Apter, who's just standing here on the touchline. Mate, that's the type of decisiveness he needs to work on. His aggression, I talked about his tackling not being pinpoint. That's the issue, because he's a bit overly aggressive. He's gotten a lot of yellow cards in last season as well, and he's picked up some reds. So maybe that's a thing that you look at and you're like, maybe Karoy isn't the man for now and the future, but definitely he is a man for the future. Now, we talk about the future, but I'm going to venture a bit into the past with these next two. I'm telling you guys, stay with me here. Just stay with me. No copyright me, please. Um, Daniel Jaxson. Now, at the start, what did I say? We're lacking some qualities in the midfield because players have been injured. I mean, Casey Palmer's been out. And who the hell else can control a game like Daniel Jaxson? I'm telling you right now, before that injury, he was leading the league, the Turkish Super League, for a team that's downright the worst team in Turkey. He was leading the league in chances created at the time, before his injury. Daniel Jaxson is a creative beast, someone we don't have in the midfield at all. I mean, how many side-to-side passes, long ball? We don't actually have someone who can pass into the midfield. They can take the ball, turn, and actually find a forward pass that leads into an actual attack. Apart from Palmer, Johnson's the man who can do it. Johnson's, I don't know, he's been frozen out for some goddamn reason. I have no clue as to why. But he has been named in the overall 60-man squad. Obviously, it's no guarantee he's going to make it. But I'm telling you, he has got to be there. As far as I'm doing it right now, I think so far, I've not even made it to, let's see, 6, 6, 12. So I'm counting it up. I'm closing down to about a 30-member squad, which it's gonna have to be 26. So you guys can always be cut from. But Jaxson, in regards to set pieces, he's excellent. His passing rate, as I said, he creates a lot of chances. His passing rate is excellent. Every time I saw him in the Turkish Super League, I'm shout out Disney Plus as well because they show the games. He knows how to control a game, and he's got excellent ball control itself. He doesn't have it bouncing off him like Lukaku's Timberland boots, man. I'm telling you, look. Where do you think of Daniel Jaxson? Right, people don't understand, but Daniel Jaxson is one of those players that they took so long to bloom into what they actually were gonna be from the youth team. Right, he was always going to be an excellent player, but he didn't really make the level in regards to his talent up until he was like 30, 29, 30 years old. He's 33 now, right? And I'm saying it because when he was at Preston and Stoke and everything, he was virtually an average midfielder. He was nothing too special. He was not hugely great or anything, and he just developed afterwards. And the move away from England, the move to Turkey has been good and everything. And you're just looking at it like, man, this guy is really, really something, And I think Daniel Jaxson could be a member that should be starting is one of the midfield three. Now, obviously, I'm talking about cons for everyone at his age, lack of pace. I mean, me and him are the same height, so aerial duels. I mean, I can jump, he can't. And his defensive contribution at his age, he's not tracking back. I've seen him track back, but if the injury is supposed to make him regress, because as it should, at his age, then his defensive contribution will be next to nothing. But Daniel Johnson is a good shot. He is a fantastic shout and should be considered. I'm not joking. You know, you can't be looking and just skipping over his name saying, "Oh, we've got better," because if we do, then we must have freaking. And look, this player isn't great, but we must have Andreas Pereira or somebody of that caliber in the national setup because there ain't no way. There ain't no way. Now I said we got two in a blast from the past, and how far back do you want to go? Because I'm showing you guys Ravel Morrison at this point, and I'm telling you right now, anybody who's gonna come and be like, "Oh, he is still the most talented player we have when all else are up." I mean, none of this whisper business, you know, that Gray, um, even Palmer, Johnson, none of that business. Ravel Morrison. People seem to forget Ravel Morrison didn't just wasn't just in the Man United academy, but he played for them. He debuted for them. He was dubbed as the most talented youth player ever seen by Sir Alex Ferguson. He went to West Ham. He played in the Premier League for West Ham. He played for Lazio. People think that this man isn't good because he doesn't stay at clubs much, and we know about those personal issues and everything that kicked off at that time, and people don't want to take long-term commitments to him. In regards to just football, this man is just football. I'm only talking football. This man, if he had, we always say, what if? And I'm telling you, if he had not done whatever, we wouldn't even be speaking about him as a Jamaican international. Because he would be in England's midfield. Do you think man's like Declan Rice and Conor Gallagher would be in England's midfield if Ravel Morrison didn't fuck up when he was younger? Oh, you really don't know the real Ravel at that point, man. And look, I'm waxing lyrical about his technical abilities, creativity, his passing, it's all excellent. Obviously, look, he's more of an attacking midfielder. He doesn't play in a three, so he's the most wild card option out of all. So defensive wise, you're probably gonna have to play a Hayden and a Frey together. If you're gonna play a man like Ravel Morrison from the start, you're gonna need the proper balance. Right? But I'm telling you, mate, he has got to be at least brought up with the team. If it's even for experience or morale level, he's got to also be there. I'm telling you. My final option. This is where we move from the past to the ultimate future. Tyrese Hall. Now he's been on our radar for God knows how long, and believe you me, ever since I found out this kid was Jamaican from the Tottenham Academy, FIFA, Football Manager, PES, any game you want to name, I've gotten him. And I'll tell you what, if he's as good in games as he is in real life, sign me up for it. I'm all here for it because Tyrese Hall is a certified baller, even though he's only 20 years old. Now, he does play for Notts County. He scored about 5 goals this season. I mean, mate, a centre mid scoring goals like that for Notts County. And Notts County is a big club, people don't understand, bigger than Spurs. And for him, he's slotting into that midfield in League Two. Obviously, he's not starting every week, but when he does, you can tell who the talent is, who the technical player is on the field. At his age, his versatility is another thing. We talk about Latibore, who can play CDM, right back, centre back. This man is a 6'8" and a 10 and has played out wide as a winger. So that means he's got the passing, he's got the dribbling, he's got the pace, he's got tenacity, he's got everything. I mean, right now, it's just that he's going to get his call up now. So, doesn't have enough international experience and is a bit on the younger side. So, obviously, people would, unless you're a world-class talent, it's just sit off and wait on your turn and shit like that. Jamaica loves to do. And even though he plays a lot in League One, is it? Yeah. his physicality is not up to the standard yet. It's League Two. It's not up to the standard yet. I mean, look at him. You can see he's got breadsticks for arms, man. He's not the biggest guy. He can't shove people off the ball, and I think he's probably an inch taller than me anyway. So he's not the most physical. But Tyrese Hall is somebody that has to be considered. And before people talk about it, because I said obviously I bought him in the games and whatnot, and oh, if he's as good in real life, I've seen him in real life. So I know that's just a gimmick from me. I've seen him in real life play a couple games for Notts County. It's hard to watch them because, I think there's Owen Carr's the National League, and then League Two is in that limbo state in regards to us in Jamaica as to where we can see it. So apart from certain sites that, name them, they're gone, and I won't be able to watch anything. Apart from those sites, we kind of won't see much. And Notts County have a gem. And just spiraling back to Tottenham, because that's the only thing that keeps coming to my mind when I see him. And I'm looking and I'm like, there's a real good chance Tottenham are in the Championship next season. Tyrese Hall is good enough for the Championship. Is he going to finally get his moment to play for his boyhood club, really? I mean, and look at it this way. He's 20 years old. And people don't realize this in a lot of players. But Tyrese Hall is 20 years old. People are like, why are you stressing his age? I'm like, he willingly chose to get his Jamaican citizenship, a passport and all, at 20 years old. While, how long did it take Isaac Hayden? How long did it take Ravel Morrison? How long did it take this player? How long did it take that player? He's 20. What are England's midfield options? Obviously, Bellingham, Palmer, Rodgers, and that's just for the attacking midfield position. You got Rice, Elliot Anderson, and Wharton. You're telling me in 2 years of playing in the Championship and then the Premier League, which I fully expect him to be in 2028, that he wouldn't have been a mainstay in an England midfield of Hall, Anderson, and Rice? You are having a laugh. This kid's a real talent, and we can't be going off on him. Even though I just, took him off the page there. But look, when we're talking real, what am I talking now? Let's say it's Hayden in the 6. Who are his flanking eights? Who is the more attacking? Who is the more defensive? I'm the type of person who likes to take risks. Everybody who, if you watch the show, listen to this podcast, I'm the type that wants to take risks. And for me, there's no John Russell, so technically we only have 5 options. For me, there's only 2 people that can start, literally and figuratively. And that's Dan Johnson and Casey Palmer. Now, top ball for Hall, so I haven't spoken about the formation. I said initially 3-4-3, obviously with wing backs. However, if Jamaica decides not to go with wing backs and instead go with the diamond formation, then pick one of the 4 halls there. But for right now, in a game against New Caledonia, I don't want to expose the kid to something that he may not be ready for in regards to his international football, especially with even Congo, right? Mans like Sidiki and Kayembe will dog him up. But Johnson and Palmer, who know how to hold the ball, and those guys with their level of experience and everything, they actually know how to buy a foul as well. Those players got to be in the team. Obviously against Congo, Russell will be back. And then we've got more physicality. But for right now, it's got to be Johnson and Palmer, in my opinion, because we have not been able to hold the motherfucking ball for freaking 3.5 years. And I'm tired of it. I am sick and tired of it. But guys, that is my options. That is my verdict. And I would say again, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys actually like the previous videos. As I said, 6 videos in 6 days. Potentially what's gonna happen. As long as future me does this properly, it should be 6 and 6, and should be fine. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Vamos.